you're waiting for your animal sacrifice to be done. Once the news comes through, then you are able to have a bath. If you cut your hair first, then you are able to use shampoo, you are able to use soap, you wear your normal clothes, and then you can go and do your tawaf. However, some might feel that we don't want to wait for the news for sacrifice, I'm going for tawaf. So you will go in your ihram in tawaf. Fine. And do your sa'i if your sa'i is still left, and then you come back and then you hear that your animal sacrifice has been done, you shave your hair, and then you come out of your ihram. So the tawaf can be done in your ihram clothes, or it can be done in your normal clothes, depending on whether your animal sacrifice has been done and you shaved your hair.
Sorry about that. A little bit confused. I was reading a book and you know the penalty to shaitan?
Yeah.
It was done in a course of 3 days in the book. So
Yeah, I'm just doing 1 day so far.
Oh, okay.
I'm still on the 10th. I haven't come on the 11th and 12th. Okay. So you're very good. No, you're very, very fast. MashaAllah. You're traveling in a car. Anyway. So the brother, yeah. So so on that day, you've done your pelting, you wait for your sacrifice. After sacrifice, you shave your hair. After shaving your hair, you're able to come out of your ihram. All you've got left is the tawaf. The tawaf is ziyarah, which is the most important. Either you could go on that day. Transport on the 10th is very, very difficult. You should be prepared to walk from here to Makkah. Do tawaf. If you've got sa'i, do sa'i. Then walk back. Absolute, the most shattering day of walking ever is going to be the 10th of Zulhijjah. Be prepared for that. Yeah? Because you started off here at Muzdalifah. Some of us usually walk from Muzdalifah to Mina because it's only 1 hour. You get to your tent over here. Then you walk from your tent to Jamarat, which is 45 minutes. Then after pelting, you walk to Shisha, that's another half an hour. You rest until you hear about your Qurbani news. Your Qurbani is done, you shave your hair. You shave your hair, you have your bath. You put on your normal clothes. Then you decide to go and do your tawaf. You walk to Makkah, 1 hour. Then you do your tawaf, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. If you have your sa'i left, that's another hour, hour and a half. Then you walk back to Shisha. Yeah, your feet are swelled up, fine, alhamdulillah. This is what Hajj is all about. Then you have a rest, and then it's sunnah, or according to some scholars, it's wajib to spend the night in Mina. So about 2 or 3 a.m. you arrive back in your Mina camp. 2 or 3 a.m. Whether you take a cab back or whether you walk it back, I think you won't get there before 2 or 3 a.m. You started here in Muzdalifah 2 or 3 a.m. You woke up for Fajr at 4 o'clock. You haven't slept since 4 o'clock in the morning. At 2 or 3 a.m. you get back here. That day you have to remember. That's how it's going to be when you're mentally prepared for it. If you're mentally prepared, it's fine. If you're not mentally prepared, then you complain. Yeah? Fine. I had one brother who got lost on the 10th. So he'd done everything. Sab, you might remember this. Ibi, do you remember? Where's Ibrahim?
Can I just come in here now? That's the Maulana's guide, but we will not be going to the Haram on the 10th. Because at the moment, because of the work that's going on in the Haram, and there's so much, there'll be so much public there, we will, inshallah, our group will go on the 11th for the Tawaf, because it's going to be safer for the group. Inshallah.
The Tawaf can be done on the 11th, it can be done on the 12th. Last year, I did it on the 11th after Isha. I went there, and the brothers from Shisha were leaving for Mina. I got a scooter there. I was a bit tired. I was feeling tired. Got a scooter there. I'd already done my sa'i. It was empty. Half an hour tawaf, and I got a scooter back, and these people who were walking to Shisha are joining me. They said, "Where have you been?" I said, "I've been done my tawaf." I said, "We took us 2 hours yesterday." I said, "Yeah, I'm Maulana." Yeah, lecture. But one brother, one day, and Ibrahim might remember this, one of the brothers, he was coming back, he did the tawaf, he came back to Mina, and then he got lost in Mina. So everyone had gone to sleep after Fajr, and he was still not back at 5 o'clock. He walked in at 7 o'clock, and he saw the brother sleeping, the Scottish brother. And he came in and said, "What's this? Everybody's sleeping. Am I the only one who got lost?" Did my check bounce or what? Did my check bounce or what when he came in? Everyone was laughing so much because they thought he's the only one who got lost. But anyway, you can rest here, go back to Mina, and then the next day, on the 11th, you will be planting 1, 2, 3 Jamarat, and then come back to Mina. On the 12th, 1, 2, 3 Jamarat, and then come back to Mina. Now, if you've got your tawaf left, then after the 11th, after Jamarat, you can go back to Shisha, rest, and then go whatever time you want to do the tawaf and come back. Or on the 12th as well before Maghrib. Okay, so that's the very, very quick guide to the Hajj. And if you want the full guide, it's over here. I'll flick through. Yeah, that's what you do quickly. On the 10th. And in there, I'll just give you 1 or 2 tips. The Mina Jamarat, you go through these tunnels. There's the Jamarat. There's the order. Now when you're doing the Jamarat, when you go to the Jamarat, it's a big pillar like this. You will be coming from Mina. Look, where are these people coming from? They're coming from here. So you're going towards Makkah. Makkah is on that side. Each pillar will come, the small one first, the middle one first, and then the big one. On the first day, you only do the big one. But when you go, the easiest place to do the stoning, is not this corner. Why? Because everybody's coming from this side. Keep on walking past, just keep a distance from the wall here, keep on walking past, and then enter through here, just on that corner here. There'll be nobody there. And you'll be able to do it right next to it. Okay? So go for that left corner on this edge here. Okay? That's one tip. Another tip you need to remember is this. European camp is over here. When you're coming to Jamarat, you will come through this tunnel, through another tunnel, and you'll end up in the Jamarat over here. These are the 3 Jamarat. And that's the route. Now, if you are coming back to Mina straight away, then when you go down the ramp or go down the escalators, then take a right and turn back to the right. If you take a left, then you're going to end up in the Indian-Pakistan camp. So you'll go down all the continents and then you get them. So if you want visas for all the different continents, then you go here. But if you want to get back in an hour, then you go down and you take a right. That brother who I talked about, he took a left. That was the problem. You take a right and you go through the tunnel. The tunnel, it says Al-Mu'aysim. This is another tip. Nafaq means tunnel. Noon fa qaf. Nafaq, Al-Mu'aysim means slaughterhouse. These are the Al-Mu'aysim slaughterhouse. Our European camp is very near the Al-Mu'aysim slaughterhouse. Okay? So if you ask somebody Al-Mu'aysim Nafaq or Al-Mu'aysim slaughterhouse, then you might know, but make sure you take a right here when you're coming back. And if you're coming from Shisha, you will come from here. So what you do, you keep your Jamarat on your right hand side, not on your left hand side. So Jamarat will stay on your right, and if you walk with Jamarat on your right, then you will be going the right way. Okay? That's a very important tip you need to remember.
So the tunnel is a two-way system.
Sorry?
The tunnel is a two-way system? Or what?
Yeah, it's different tunnels. So going wise will be only you going one way. It's one way. Okay? Before leaving home, you thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's one thing that we need to do is the tawaf al-wida. This is wajib. So once you've completed your Hajj, after the pelting of the Jamarat, then you will stay in Shisha. But before you come home, you need to do tawaf al-wida. This is wajib. Okay? For the 8 days, people, it's very difficult, but you need to get there and try and do your tawaf al-wida because there's lots of congestion. And then have good memories and refrain talking about difficulties. You don't want to come back and somebody comes to your house to drink zamzam and khajur, and they say, oh, you know, how was the Hajj? They say, oh, don't go there. That's Shabir. Or that Ibi. Yeah? And that's it. You've put somebody off from going for Hajj. If you feel that the group was not good, if you feel that they let you down, then say, Alhamdulillah, you need to go for Hajj. But if I were you, I'd choose another group. Don't say anything else. Sorry, Shabir. Still Jamie, yeah?
Your side.
Yeah, side. If somebody comes to your house, then you say, Alhamdulillah, you need to go for Hajj. and they ask you about the group, then Alhamdulillah, if I will, I'll go with another group, but then encourage them. Don't talk bad, don't stop backbiting, because then you are spoiling your Hajj. Always have good memories of Hajj. Very important. Lots of people, they spoil their Hajj after this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make your journeys easy. Remember, keep reading Fazail al-Hajj, Virtues of Hajj, and a book about Hajj. Any questions, you are free to ask later on. Shabir will go through the rest of them.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected brothers, elders, sisters, ulama kiram, welcome to the Hajj seminar. So far, so good. Everybody, been beneficial. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Can I just have a show of hands in terms of the packages that you are on? 8 days, people. 8 days. Okay. Your group leader is Brother Afzal at the back, the big guy, the soldier. And inshallah, after food, he would like to have a sort of word with you all, so it will be a separate section for you guys, so at least you can introduce yourselves. 14 days. Okay. And then 19 days. Right. Okay, fantastic. Okay. For the 14 and the 19 days, you guys are all going together on Gulf. So therefore, you've got 4 guides with you. It's Maulana Yunus, Hakim at the back with glasses on, and then you've got Imran, who were introduced at the beginning, and Minhaj, who stood there trying to hide, but he put his hand up there. So what we will do, inshallah, is they will all inform you as to where to meet. And I think the consensus is that you all meet at the airport 4 hours before the flight. Not 4 hours before check-in, 4 hours before the flight. And then us guys will be at the check-in desk. We will sort of check you in, inshallah, help you. So that's the plan, but they will go through that. We will also send emails out to everybody, who the guide's going to be, and who you're going to meet and when. But all the guides will ring you before the travel anyway, so at least you're familiar with them and you know that you've got their telephone numbers and so on. But a lot of the slides Maulana has gone through already, even my slides. I didn't even know he had them, but he's pitched them and then used them himself. So this section hopefully should not take too long. One thing that everybody will say when it comes to Hajj, because they just take bags and bags of this, is patience. No matter which Hajj group or no matter which book you pick up, they'll say sabr is everything when it comes to Hajj. And this is when everybody will get tested, and I can guarantee now that no matter which group you go on, with any organization, every single one of you will be tested. Every single one of you, in one way or another. And when you will be tested, then just try and do sabr, because at the end of the day, it's not like Ramzan, where the shaitans are tied up. The shaitan is on full floor, and he'll be working his damn hardest and making sure that he's going to spoil your Hajj. And it's all then down to you as individuals to say, this is the shaitan playing tricks with me, I'm going to Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim, and I'm going to do sabr. So these are the things that you need to bear in mind at all times, because Hajj itself is a struggle. It's not meant to be easy, and this is what you need to bear in mind. But what will be going through our minds is, I paid 3.5 grand, I paid 4 grand, I paid 4.5 grand, I expect this, I expect that. These are things that the shaitan will be putting through your minds, saying that, look, I paid all this money and I expect this and I expect that. Why is this bus like this, and why am I not getting a Bentley instead of a Satco bus? And all these things will be going through your minds. But these are shaitani thoughts that we're going through. A lot of the things that happen in Hajj are beyond our control.
we don't have control over it because it's run by the Ministry of Hajj, the authorities and so on. But what we need to do is if things do go wrong, where are we? And that's the idea. That's hence why we have so many staff going with us, traveling with us when we are in Medina and Mecca. And we have a rota system, we have a table system there, so at least that you can get hold of us if you get lost or if you lose your way or you need to speak to somebody about something. It could be anything, but you need to know that somebody is going to be there available for you. It's not a case, we don't follow the principle that you'll just be a group leader at the airport who's actually going to be one of your Hajjis, turns out to be the medical doctor as well, right? And he's going to be cooking in shisha. And we don't follow that principle. We're trying to do it so that you have got the confidence that you're going with an organization that will take you through the full process. One has gone through this slide already, that at the end of the day, what we're all trying to get to, the objective is an accepted Hajj. And he's already told us how to do that, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our Hajj. One thing he has mentioned is what do we do? What do I need to do as an objective? Because no doubt when you're in Makkah and when you're in Medina, and especially in the first day of the Hajj in Mina, you are going to have a lot of downtime. And you're going to be thinking to yourself, all right, okay, what do I do now? Nobody's telling me what to do. At the end of the day, this is your Hajj. And what we need to do, or what we need to do, I should say, is have an objective of, for example, there was one guy, he said, I'm going for the 19 days package. And on those 19 days, I want to read at least 1.5 para of the Quran a day. So throughout my full Hajj period, I'm going to finish the Quran, inshallah. Somebody else said, right, every single day, I'm going to read Durood Sharif, I'm going to read the Kalma La ilaha illallah 1,000 times, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you, all of us, should have a personal objective of what we need to do in terms of our personal tilawat. Where you do it, whether it's in your own rooms, or whether you do it in Masjid al-Nabawi, or in the Haram, or in Shisha, doesn't really matter. That way, if you do that and you follow it to the T, then what will happen? You will not have time to be thinking about anything else. You will not be thinking of the woman sleeping next to you snoring. You will not be thinking about, hold on a second, I'm used to Pakistani food. The taste today was Bangladeshi food. Right, okay, let's get hold of Minhaj. Minhaj, what's going on, man? I want the Indians. Listen, we've got people from all over the world here in this room. We've got people who are Arabs. We've got people from Nigeria. We've got Indians. We've got Pakistanis. We've got Bangladeshi. There's no way on earth can any group provide for every single person's taste bud every single day. It's just not going to happen. So, this is another thing. Why is it? It's a time of patience. What we do, if we don't like the food, just say, alhamdulillah, it's there for us, as provided by the group. If we don't like it, doesn't matter, I'll go away and I'll find something outside which will accommodate me. And it's not difficult because there are so many restaurants in Medina and so many restaurants in Makkah, and the government has made it so that everything is cheap. You can have a proper meal to the brim for less than £2.50. So for that, because it doesn't suit you, it's not worth ruining your Hajj over. But again, going back to the food side of things, especially in the five days of Hajj, food needs to be basic anyway. You don't want to have, we've done it. We provided biryani in Arafat, yeah? And then in Muzdalifah, there are queues and queues of people waiting for the loos. So, we just, at the end of the day, we need to sort of balance it out so that at least the food is fresh, it's freshly cooked, and it's available at food times. Like I said, the Haji Afzal is here, and he'll meet the 8 days people. It's the only group that doesn't go to Medina. All other groups, whether it's the 12-day, 14-day or 19-day packages, they all go to Medina. And like you said, you'll all be meeting your group leaders. I'm the first one to go with my judge, and then what I will do is when the other groups arrive, the 19 days people, because I'll take the 23 days people, so when the other groups arrive, the 14 days and 19 days, I will inshallah receive you in Medina. So you'll have the group leader here, and when you come out of customs on the other side, we will be there to receive you. Now we've got to bear in mind, is except for the 8 days people who will go to Jeddah airport, and it's not an easy task. Believe me, Jeddah airport, you have to have extreme amount of patience because of all the checkpoints that you have to go through before you go, and then you have to go through immigration and so on. That will take time. And then after you get to the other side, then they have to arrange the bus for you to come to Makkah. When you come to Makkah, you've got to go to the morning office. From the morning office, then you will come to the building. That whole process, after landing, you are talking 9 hours. So be prepared for that 9 hours. Don't think that just because I've arrived at the airport now, I'll go to my resort on the beach, that's it, done, 2 hours. No. This is then the process of Hajj starts then. The patience will need to be required, and you guys, the 8-day people, you are also going to be the ihram as well. So be mindful of that, and then what you need to do, keep informed with Abzal. He's taken this group himself personally for the last 4 years, so he knows what he's doing. When he'll get there, you're in good hands, and then just do sabr. He may have to disappear for even half an hour just to ensure that you've got the buses in hand. But you don't worry, he will not leave you behind. He will still come back for you and take you. The people that go into Medina first, it's a breeze in comparison. So the whole 9 hours then gets reduced down to, inshallah, 2 hours. So you'll come out of immigration on the other side. You are not going to be in ihram either. So that's another bonus. And then we will receive you, then we will get the buses and take you to the hotels. Hopefully, inshallah, God willing, we will get the keys for the rooms in advance. So even when you get to the hotels, you're not going to be waiting around. Right, these are some logistical questions that are probably already in your minds before you came to the seminar. So what I've done is already sort of try to, I'll put the questions up because I feel these are the questions that come up year in, year out. And so I'll answer them. Okay? When will I receive my passport and airline tickets? Okay? Now, there's been a lot of confusion this year and whether are we going to actually go to Hajj because of the issues that happened in Ramadan, and people are concerned about, oh, I might lose all my money, and tell you what, let's just leave it. But yes, there are issues about the visas. The quota for the entire world was cut by 20%. So therefore, there's been a huge reduction in the number of people going to Saudi Arabia. But alhamdulillah, we have all lost. Okay? So that's the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.